I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we come to you from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL as you get a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
In the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of NC State. It's Phillip Rivers.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
Now it's the fullback. This is Kyle Juszczyk. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. 2nd down. Quickly now, here's a look at the Green Bay offense.
And this certainly doesn't seem like an ideal situation for them because they're coming in on a losing streak, and they've got the quick turnaround right here to Thursday night. But maybe that's for the best. Get right back on the horse and go at it again and not dwell on the losing that they've had in recent weeks.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. Here's the first carry for Northwestern's Justin Jackson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. They're never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 26.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Sack, baby! Sack, baby!
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now,
and he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Austin Jackson, his third touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. With these Thursday night games, sometimes you get those quick turnarounds. You wonder how a team's going to start. They started really well.
Everyone's always wondering, going into a Thursday night game, who has their legs, who has the overall health of a team. But mentally, if you get that early edge, the other team might think to itself, it's been a short week, we're not really ready to go. You might run them into the ground that way. That's why getting that early score means a lot.
Let's go.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So from the 36 now, first and 10. From the gun, Bridgewater. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. Touchdown, Vikings! Stephon Diggs, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Barely got the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So that drive, 4 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep. One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. From just shy of midfield, Rivers completes this one to Meredith. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. from Viking territory now. They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 43. Rivers on the money, complete. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from me a little bit. And that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Good solid gain on first down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Rivers. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Everson Griffin on the sack. Taken to the 4th round back in 2010. What a steal. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Push him back. Push him back. Hey, Mike 52. Mike 52.
To throw is Bridgewater. And Diggs has it. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's got room. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Bridgewater now. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Now Cook. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Jair Alexander in from the corner to make the sack.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. There's still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will knot us up at 10. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And after the field goal last time, see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last one. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Anthony Barr able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now the fullback, Juszczyk. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down. 3rd and long for Rivers. And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. Anthony Barr in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Well, that's 2 sacks in this game, so add that to the 4 from last week. I think that's 6.
Good math. Excellent math. And look, he's going to get all the attention he deserves it. He got home and got the quarterback on the ground. But that's a concentrated team effort because you got a lot of guys who occupy blockers to allow him access to rush the passer.
That'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as the season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing, Bridgewater. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
They run again on first down. Cook. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're not doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Bridgewater. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, you might want to get out of the way.
They run on first down with Jackson. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
We got this.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. He is racking the sacks up. Charles, 5 last week, now 2 here.
I don't care what they've done in scheme, it's not working. I mean, you can do it all day long, all night long. They did it all week, and it hasn't worked. And in fact, on that last sack, I thought I saw him drop a Pro Bowl ballot at the feet of the quarterback and say, here's a pen right in my name.
He keeps playing like this, he'll be dropping those ballots from a plane above the city. Xavier Rhodes makes the tackle. Throwing on 3rd and long. Rivers. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
I'm coming back.
This may be one of the best stretches of defensive football that I've seen. I don't know about you. 5 sacks last week, now 3 here in this affair.
I would agree with that, and I've enjoyed watching the skill that's gone into it. You can see the intelligence behind it as well. He's watched tape, and he's setting people up. But relentless, that's the one word that keeps coming to mind. He does not want to be denied at getting to the quarterback.
And they're not denying it. So we have reached halftime here at a good... All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, You've got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
Cook. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Bridgewater from the gun on 3rd down. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. The first run for the backup, Abdullah. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Bridgewater, and incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath, nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. 3rd down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to regain the lead. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now out comes traded touchdowns so far with their first possessions here in the third quarter, so we're right back to where we started at intermission.
Yeah, how about that? Tied at the half, tied after the first two drives of the third quarter, one for each. That tells me that someone's defense has got to step up and make a big play and try and change the momentum of this game.
Here's a quick throw to Thielen. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put him on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 15 yards on the play, first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll throw again. Bridgewater. It's complete to Diggs. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory even if they don't get it, though. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards.
They had yet to run the ball at all on this drive, but 3rd and short definitely was a great time to dial one up.
Let's go. Watch the pass.
First down, Bridgewater. And the catch made by Johnson. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. On 2nd down, this is Madison. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive. And here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Back to the ground. This time Cook. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. This will be caught inside the 10. 11 yards there, first down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
They'll run with Cook, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook. His 5th touchdown now on the year as they have taken the lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot.
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
And that's a nice gain by him on first down, picking up some key yardage.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. To throw, Rivers. Gets it to Meredith, complete. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. That one a first down pickup of 8. Rivers with a 1st and 10. And he's 8 for 8 now, throwing the ball to start the game. On the run, this is Jackson. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Throwing on 2nd down. Rivers. Rodgers brings it in. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 11 yards there, 1st down. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Rivers, and the catch good. It's Eifert. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Here's Rivers. They'll set up the screen here to Justin Jackson. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Anthony Barr, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. He's looking for another 4-sack game. That's how many he had last week. That's his 3rd.
And when I watch him rush the passer, the thing that always comes to mind for me is how well he uses his hands. The martial arts stuff that a lot of guys do in the offseason to work on those, paying dividends for him. He's getting home in a big way.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Denzel Perryman there to bring him down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Let him know, let him know. Let him know, let him know.
Again, it's Cook. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Bridgewater. And that is incomplete. critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver, and it's second down. Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's second and 10. Rivers. He'll get this to his running back. It's Justin Jackson. They'll give him a yard on the play, and just like that, it's third down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Vikings to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on first and 10. They start the drive with Cook, and he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
Defense.
Trailing in the fourth, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on first and 10. On the carry, it's Cook. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. On third down, It's Johnson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Johnson, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Bridgewater here to throw. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Bridgewater. He gets this one to Johnson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. From the red zone now, Bridgewater. Johnson's got it complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. Bridgewater. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. 9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Bridgewater to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And here's a big one now. Try to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll run for it. Cook. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. So he needed the short yardage, Charles. He elected to try to bounce it outside of the outer third, unsuccessful.
Sometimes those plays are stacked up by the defense and there's nowhere to go, so you have to bounce it outside. And some backs just get impatient. They want to go to where they think there's more open territory instead of going where the play was actually blocked. In any case, it didn't work here.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Brandon's okay what they're doing right now. Still able to work the middle of the field, but you know sooner or later they're going to have to stop the clock.
First down now, but the clock continues to move. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one, because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. He'll look to throw. He's got Adams on the hook on it. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Minnesota, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, they'll drop down to 1-3. And fortunately for them, they'll have the early bye next week as they return to action in Week 6. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.